What's up, dudes? No update this week. Well, no Fanime update, anyway. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean that there weren't any videos or updates posted, because I noticed there were some people in the comments the last time I did this that seemed to have that misconception. There were updates, there just weren't very many, and it wouldn't feel like a very satisfying video to watch if, you go to Fanime update, it's only like, 6 or 7 things. So when we skip a week like that, that's the reason why. Now, those updates don't just get ignored, they then get pushed into the next week's video. So just thought I'd clarify that very quickly. And while we're here, might as well go over a few other things as well, I suppose. If you ever find yourself wondering why your video didn't make it into Fanime update, well, maybe I can clarify that for you. So there are 2 types of updates that I include. There are those that actually get into the video and those that only make it in the description. Now, the ones in the video are pretty straightforward. They're just updates that I felt were significant enough to show off. And then the description-only videos have 2 different distinctions. There are, troll updates or Fanime's troll episodes. Anything that, you can tell the creator obviously isn't taking it seriously and it's just not really a must-see, that goes into description only. And the other type are things where I'm not sure really what it is, or it's just really small, or I just don't even know if it's an update or what it's related to. Sometimes those will get included in the description as well. So if you want to make sure that your updates are being included in update, the best way to do that is to make sure that there is something very visible, especially like pictures, GIFs, videos, motion, things that are flashy that can be shown off. So significant updates, if you just post one sketched frame, that's probably not going to make it into the video. And then also, the update that you post has to have context. I have to know what it's for and why. I see a lot of time people will just post a single frame or a couple of frames and they won't really say anything about it. They'll just have some reactionary post and I won't know what it is, so I don't know if I should be including it in the video or not. So give us something to look at and kind of give it some context, and that'll usually guarantee that it makes it into the video. And by context, I mean just tell me what project it's for and what it is. Because sometimes people will post things like concept art, and I don't typically include concept art because it's not necessarily an update. So if you're showing us preview frames from an episode, tell me what episode and tell me what the frame, tell me that they're preview frames. Basically, just be a little more specific. Other than that, if you don't see your work in update and you were expecting to, there may be another reason for it, which is either I missed it completely, which does happen, and to make sure that that doesn't happen, make sure you're always tagging it as Fanime. I check YouTube and Tumblr, tagged Fanime. That's the simplest way to get it seen by me. Otherwise, I may have excluded it because I just simply didn't feel that it fit in update, in which case it might not have been specified that it was an update. So, see steps 3 or whatever. Now, the only time I'll really intentionally exclude something from Fanime update is if it's outwardly offensive in a very specific way. So, if something's racist or homophobic or something like that, usually I just won't even include that at all. I mean, if you're making that, you know what you're making, and you probably don't expect it to get in anyway. So, have that. Otherwise, I typically try and report as much as possible. That's why I still include troll shows in the description. I just don't really feel the need to announce them in the video. But I like to give people as much to watch as possible, and I try to represent as many things as possible. It's really intended to be kind of an unbiased show, except for the new Spotlight segment, which is my one moment of opinion in the entire episode. But speaking of opinions, more of an opinion show was the Fanime podcast, where we would just kind of talk about things we liked and why we liked them and things like that. So in addition to everything we've just discussed, I'd actually like to ask how many people are still interested in that, and in what way. Now, I know that when I made the interest check video to ask if people still wanted to see Fanime update and what kind of content they wanted to see, a lot of people were interested in podcasts and reviews. I don't think I'll be doing reviews right now, probably not for a long time, if at all, just because of the amount of work that goes into making a review. But a podcast is really easy to make. Now, here's the thing, though. I want to know if people are interested in seeing Fanime podcast again on Fanime update. What type of podcast would you like to see? And just, I don't know, what types of things would you like to see from the podcast? It's very unlikely that the original team will ever come back together. I mean, most of them are either too busy with other things or have just kind of distanced themselves from Fanime in general. I don't think really more than maybe 1 or 2 of them would be interested in still doing it at all. So you're probably not going to see the original team. It's very unlikely there will be a team in that event because those are pretty good friends of mine. They're kind of hard to replace, and I chose them because we got along so well and just could have good conversations. easily, so that's not really something I could just replace on a whim. I mean, we tried to do that before and it didn't work out really. So chances are, if podcast does return, it'll more than likely just be me, more than likely just talking to myself, and I don't know if people are especially interested in that, because I know it doesn't provide as much entertainment value. The upside to me doing a solo cast is that I can talk more deeply on subjects than I otherwise would be able to. Things don't tend to get derailed as much. But I don't know, that's just something that crossed my mind today. Might bring it back, might not. Just would like to know what you guys think. Anyways, hope you're having a spectacular Monday. I'll see you next Monday with an actual Fanime update. I gotta go attend a birthday party.